Hollywood has always celebrated transformation. It rewards confidence, glamour, and unforgettable performances. Yet for generations, it often demanded that people hide the most important part of who they truly were. Behind red carpets, flashing cameras, and worldwide fame, some stars carried a private struggle that no award or applause could erase. Living authentically sometimes meant risking careers, relationships, public acceptance, and even personal safety. Yet despite those fears, they found the courage to embrace their true identities, inspiring millions to do the same. Today, we look back at 7 remarkable transgender celebrities whose journeys remind us that the greatest transformation is never about appearance. It is about finally living as the person you were always meant to be. We begin with Jessica Alves, whose search for identity became one of the most widely discussed personal journeys in modern entertainment. For years, Jessica Alves was recognized around the world for an image that never truly reflected who she was inside. Long before publicly embracing her identity as a transgender woman, she became known for extensive cosmetic procedures and the media nickname the Human Ken doll. While newspapers and television programs focused on her changing appearance, few people realized she was quietly struggling with questions of identity that no amount of public attention could answer. Jessica has spoken openly about spending many years trying to fit expectations that never brought genuine happiness. Despite worldwide fame and countless procedures, she often felt an important part of herself remained hidden. Eventually, she made the courageous decision to live openly as her authentic self. In 2020, Jessica publicly came out as a transgender woman and began living under her true name. The announcement attracted worldwide attention, bringing both support and criticism. Rather than retreating from public life, she chose honesty over fear, explaining that inner peace was more valuable than outside approval. For Jessica, the most meaningful transformation was not physical. It was finally allowing her identity and her outward life to exist in harmony. Today, Jessica uses her platform to encourage self-acceptance and remind others that every journey is unique. Her story shows that lasting confidence grows from embracing who we truly are, even when the path is difficult. While Jessica found the courage to reveal her authentic self in the entertainment world, another internationally celebrated figure would spend decades carrying a similar truth before sharing it with the world. For decades, Caitlyn Jenner was admired as one of America's greatest athletes. After winning the decathlon at the 1976 Summer Olympics, she became a national hero and later a familiar television personality. To millions of people, Caitlyn appeared to have achieved the American dream. But behind the public image, she quietly carried a deeply personal truth that few people could have imagined. Caitlyn has shared that she struggled with her gender identity from an early age. Growing up at a time when transgender people were rarely understood, she feared losing her family, career, and public respect if she revealed her authentic self. For many years, she chose to hide those feelings while meeting the expectations placed upon her. Eventually, she decided that living honestly was worth every risk. In 2015, Caitlyn publicly came out as a transgender woman, introducing herself to the world under her true identity. The announcement received worldwide attention, bringing both support and criticism. Despite the challenges, she has often said that living authentically gave her a sense of peace she had searched for throughout her life and allowed her to stop hiding from the person she had always been. Today, Caitlyn continues to encourage conversations about identity, acceptance, and courage. Her journey reminds us that genuine strength is measured not only by medals or public achievements, but also by the willingness to live truthfully. While Caitlyn inspired millions through her remarkable journey, another trailblazing performer would help reshape transgender representation in Hollywood itself through the power of film and television. Long before becoming one of Hollywood's most influential transgender actresses, Laverne Cox faced challenges that few people around her could fully understand. Growing up in Alabama, she often felt different from those around her and struggled to fit into expectations that never reflected who she truly was. Even as she dreamed of performing, she knew that simply being herself could bring rejection instead of opportunity. Laverne has spoken openly about the isolation she experienced while growing up and the discrimination she encountered as she pursued an acting career. At a time when transgender performers were rarely given meaningful roles, she refused to let fear define her future. Instead, she continued developing her craft while believing that authentic representation mattered. Eventually, her determination led to a breakthrough when she portrayed Sophia Bursay in Orange is the New Black. The role earned widespread praise and made Laverne the first openly transgender performer to receive a Primetime Emmy Award acting nomination. More importantly, it helped millions of viewers see transgender characters portrayed with dignity, depth, and humanity rather than harmful stereotypes. Today, Laverne Cox remains a respected actress, producer, and advocate who continues to encourage empathy, understanding, and equal opportunity. Her story reminds us that visibility can create meaningful change, not only within the entertainment industry, but throughout society. While Laverne transformed representation on television, another accomplished performer would take a deeply personal step that inspired countless people to embrace their authentic identity despite enormous public attention. Before becoming one of the most recognizable transgender actors in the entertainment industry, Elliot Page had already earned international acclaim through powerful performances in films such as Juno and Inception. Audiences admired his talent and success, believing he had achieved everything an actor could hope for. Behind that remarkable career, however, Elliot was quietly carrying a personal struggle that became increasingly difficult to hide. Elliot has shared that living according to expectations that did not reflect his true identity created years of emotional exhaustion. Although his career continued to flourish, he often felt disconnected from himself and found it difficult to experience genuine happiness. Eventually, he realized that continuing to hide was no longer an option. In 2020, Elliot publicly came out as a transgender man and thanked those who had supported him throughout his journey. His announcement was met with widespread encouragement from colleagues, friends, and fans around the world. Since then, he has spoken openly about the importance of self-acceptance, mental well-being, and creating a society where transgender people can live with dignity, safety, and respect. Today, Elliot continues to build an impressive acting career while using his platform to promote understanding and inclusion. His story reminds us that even extraordinary professional success cannot replace the peace that comes from living authentically. While Elliot inspired audiences through honesty and resilience, another remarkable figure had already spent decades helping countless families understand that courage can begin at a very young age. From an early age, Jennings showed extraordinary courage by living openly as her authentic self. While most children were simply learning about the world around them, Chaz was already helping others understand what it meant to be transgender. Growing up in the public eye brought opportunities, but it also exposed her to criticism and challenges that few young people ever experience. With the support of her family, Chaz chose honesty over fear despite constant public attention. As she grew older, she shared both the joyful and difficult moments of her journey through interviews, books, and television. Rather than presenting an idealized life, Chaz spoke openly about the emotional pressures, medical decisions, and personal struggles that often accompanied her experiences. Eventually, her willingness to be transparent helped many families better understand transgender youth and encouraged meaningful conversations about acceptance, compassion, and respect. Through her advocacy, she became one of the youngest and most recognizable voices, promoting greater awareness and understanding across the United States. Today, Jazz continues to inspire people by reminding them that authenticity begins with self-acceptance and grows stronger through the support of others. Her journey demonstrates that courage is not measured by age, but by the willingness to live truthfully, despite misunderstanding or criticism. While Jazz's story began in childhood and touched countless families, another well-known public figure would discover that embracing an authentic life can also happen after decades in the spotlight. Growing up as the child of two world-famous entertainers, Chaz Bono spent much of his life in the public spotlight. As the son of Sonny Bono and Cher, many people assumed they already knew his story. Behind the fame and constant media attention, however, Chaz was quietly trying to understand an identity that did not match the expectations placed upon him from an early age. After years of personal reflection, Chaz realized that living authentically required the courage to embrace his true identity. In 2009, he publicly began his gender transition and later shared his experiences through interviews and the documentary Becoming Chaz. Rather than focusing only on the medical aspects of transition, he spoke honestly about the emotional challenges, the importance of family support, and the strength it took to live openly. His willingness to share those deeply personal experiences helped many people better understand the realities faced by transgender individuals and encouraged conversations built on empathy rather than misunderstanding. Today, Chaz Bono continues working as a writer, actor, and advocate while inspiring others to live with honesty and self-respect. His journey reminds us that every person's path is different, but authenticity often begins with the courage to accept ourselves before asking others to do the same. While Chaz found strength through openness and education, another transgender public figure transformed personal hardship into a message of hope after surviving one of the most difficult experiences imaginable. Raji Narina Singh's journey was shaped not only by the challenge of living authentically, but also by a painful medical tragedy that changed her life forever. As a transgender woman seeking to align her appearance with her identity, she struggled to access safe and affordable medical care. Hoping to find a solution, she turned to an unlicensed practitioner, a decision that would leave lasting physical and emotional scars. The illegal injections caused severe facial deformities and forced Raji into years of isolation, embarrassment, and emotional pain. Rather than giving up, she slowly found the courage to tell her story publicly and seek professional medical treatment. Her appearance on the television series Botched introduced millions of viewers to the reality behind unsafe cosmetic procedures and the difficult road toward recovery. Although the damage could not be completely reversed, the reconstructive surgeries restored much of her confidence and allowed her to move forward with renewed hope. By speaking openly about her experience, Raji transformed personal suffering into a powerful lesson about resilience, informed medical decisions, and the importance of qualified health care. Today, Raji continues to inspire others through her honesty, determination, and refusal to let adversity define her future. Her story reminds us that true transformation is measured not by appearance, but by the strength to overcome hardship while remaining faithful to who we are. Together, these 7 remarkable journeys reveal that authenticity, courage, and hope will always leave the most lasting impression. Every journey we've explored today is unique, yet they all share one powerful lesson. The most meaningful transformation is never measured by fame, appearance, or public recognition. It is measured by the courage to live honestly. These 7 individuals faced fear, misunderstanding, and uncertainty, but each chose authenticity over silence. Their stories remind us that compassion begins with listening. Understanding grows through respect, and every person deserves the opportunity to live as their true self. No matter where we come from or how different our experiences may be, kindness and empathy remain values that connect us all. Which of these 7 journeys inspired you the most, and why? We'd love to read your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories from Hollywood and beyond. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.